Hello everyone! Welcome back to Needle Workshop. My name is Emily and I'm back today with a series of new cosplay tutorials for a brand new costume. We recently published our first pattern from our Half Demon series, which is inspired by Setsuna from the anime Yashahime. Today we'll be focusing on making her shirt. You can find the pattern along with the fully written tutorial available for download on our online store, which will be linked in the description box below. The written tutorial also includes tons of info on how to properly measure yourself, how to print the pattern, along with material suggestions and the tools used in this tutorial. We worked really hard on this, guys, so please make sure to check it out. Before we get started, I'd like to preface this by saying that we personally used a medium weight polyester cotton blend jersey for this project, but you could easily substitute it with any lightweight to heavyweight woven. We opted for a 4-way stretch jersey since we wanted the leggings to be made from the same materials, and the leggings absolutely need the 4-way stretch. We also opted for a medium to heavyweight jersey so that the garment would retain some structure. Important to know for this tutorial is that if you are using a stretch fabric, you'll need to sew the garment with a zigzag stitch, unless specified otherwise. When using a stretch fabric, you really want your stitch to have some give. A straight stitch is more likely to snap, while a zigzag stitch won't. If you are using a woven fabric, then all of your sewing is done with a regular straight stitch. So make sure to keep that in mind. Also, always make a mock-up before starting. This allows you to make sure that the fit is right. It's better to fuck up an inexpensive fabric than to fuck up your $20 meter one. So please, make a mock-up. We'd also like to thank Mira Scarlet for collaborating with us on the production of this costume. She looks absolutely stunning, so please make sure to check out her work. All the links will be in the description box below. Also of note is that she styled the wig herself and also made the shoes and the props. So without any further ado, let's get started! First, we'll be starting by overlocking the side seam of the center back bodice piece. After overlocking the side seams of the side back pieces, place your pieces to the center back, right side to right side, and sew in place, making sure to align your notches properly. Iron your seam allowances open, and overlock your shoulder seam. Place your front bodice pieces to the back bodice and sew together at the shoulder seam and side seams. Make sure to overlock your front bodice pieces at the side seams and the shoulder seams beforehand. Iron your seam allowance open. The next step is for stretch fabric only. Apply a 1.5 centimeter wide band of interfacing along the neckline. Next, you'll need to overlock the hem of the shirt and then fold it in by 1 centimeter towards the inside of the shirt and sew in place with the proper stitch. A straight stitch for woven fabric and a zigzag stitch for stretch fabric. We're doing this instead of folding our seam in twice to reduce the bulk at the hem as much as possible. Next, we'll need to prep the collar. Make sure you fully interface your collar piece. This will remove all the stretch and we'll be using straight stitches only to sew it, regardless of whether your fabric is stretched or not. Wrong side to wrong side, fold your collar in half and iron it flat. This fold will be used as a visual guide later. Overlock one side of the longest lengths of the collar. Right side to right side, sew the ends of the collar 1 centimeter from the edge and turn inside out. Make sure to iron your ends flat. Right side to right side, align the side of the collar with no overlock along the neckline, making sure to align all your notches. Feel free to use pins to help position your piece properly. sew in place. Iron the seam allowance of the collar and neckline towards the collar. Fold your collar in half and pin in place. Sew the collar in place using a stitch in the ditch. Now it's time to work on our sleeves. Make sure to mark the area where we'll be applying the elastic. Refer yourself to the pattern to do so. Overlock the side seams of both of your sleeves. You'll also need to apply a band of 1.5 cm wide interfacing along the sleeve hem if you're using a stretch fabric. Right side to right side, align your side seams and sew in place, a straight stitch for woven fabric and a zigzag stitch for stretch fabric. Iron your seam allowance open. Fold the hem of your sleeve in twice by 1 cm and top stitch in place. For this, we'll be using a straight stitch regardless of whether your fabric is stretch or not. Your elastic placement marks should be visible on the outside of the fabric. Using 3/8 inch wide black elastic, cut your desired length. Use your wrist to measure out what you need and add 2 cm for seam allowance. My elastic ended up being 19 cm long. Sew your elastic shut, 1 cm at the end. Divide the elastic in sleeves in 4 equal quadrants to help place your elastic. Place your elastic along your markings and stitch in place in 4 strategic areas: center back, center front, and the sides. I used a regular straight stitch to do this, but you can also sew it in place by hand. Right side to right side, align your sleeve to your armhole, making sure you align all your notches. As per usual, you can gather the crown first to help align your seams. Sew in place using a straight stitch for woven fabric and a zigzag stitch for stretch fabric. Once your sleeve is attached, overlock the seam allowances together. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Lastly, we need to apply the white collar. You can't see this very well here, but your piece should be fully interfaced. Wrong side to wrong side, fold your collar in half and iron it in place to create a fold line. Right side to right side, sew at the ends 1 cm away from the edge. Turn inside out and iron flat. Overlock both seam allowances together. You can tuck the excess overlock stitch back into the stitch for a clean and durable finish. Align the white collar to the inside of the shirt's collar. Make sure to align your notches and pin it in place. For this, you'll need to sew in place with another stitch in the ditch, but make sure to sew from notch to notch and not end to end. Once done, the ends shouldn't be sewn to the shirt. This will allow you to overlap them like in the original artwork. You'll need to apply snaps and/or Velcro to keep your shirt shut. I suggest 2 snaps at the collar and 2 more along the sides. Placing them while wearing the shirt will assure the fit is right for you. We ended up sending out the snaps along with the shirts to our cosplay guest so she could position them herself. And with that, the shirt is done. Alright everyone, I hope this video tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comment section below. If you like this kind of content, then please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you can know of our upcoming tutorials. Always fun! If you'd like to know more about our upcoming projects, feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I don't know why I keep saying it like that. Or Twitter. So yes, until next time, good luck with your projects, guys. Bye bye.